Hey y'all, it's me Emerald from The Rice Life, and as you can tell by the topic, as you can tell by the title of this video, this is a topic that I really don't discuss very often. I don't get like super personal, but after seeing, I think her new channel name is Yes Chris Yes, and I'll leave her video below, but after seeing her video, it kind of like inspired me to make my own video. I think her video is talking about like postpartum depression and just like depression in general, and mine will be talking about like anxiety and depression. And so yeah, so if y'all have been watching like my self-reflection journey, or I call it the self project, then hold on y'all, I think this camera's kind of crooked. If it's crooked, oh well y'all, it's just gonna be crooked. So but if you've been watching like my self project, then you've seen me you know, you've seen like through the tattoo removal process a few of the things I've discussed, but I constantly get asked, and I don't know if it's because y'all, I'm sorry, I've got a cold still, but I'm not sure if it's because I have like new subscribers or people are just like really bored with the tattoo removal vlogs, but a lot of my self-reflection journey I discuss or have discussed in the tattoo removal videos. But of course, like not everybody will sit through an entire playlist, especially if you're new to the channel. So I figured that I would discuss this, and this would just be like the one reference video for the topic. So okay, so as you all know, I am Emerald. I have 3 kids, and John and I have been together for, this year will be 11 years. This September, actually this month is 11 years since we met. This December is 11 years since we've been together. So we've been married for a little over 6 years. But yeah, I was always the type to just like in my head plan my life out perfectly. I can honestly say now that I'm a perfectionist. I am very like extremely anal retentive. I'm just type A personality all the way, you guys. So yeah, so even from the time that I was little, I was just really type A. And yeah, so I always had in my head like a certain plan, like I'm gonna get married at a certain age, have kids at a certain age, all that kind of stuff. So y'all, what you see now has literally been my plan since the time I was like 7. Like, well, I did say married at 25, baby at 30, but I ended up with like 3 kids by the time I was 25 and a husband at 21. But that's, you know, I at least, you know, got married and, you know, had the children and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, y'all, so if y'all could probably tell from the videos too, and I've discussed being very type A and all that. So but there's a downfall to being that way, you guys. You plan your life to a T. I don't know where this video is going. I feel like I'm kind of scattered, but I have been the type to plan my life to a T, you guys. So it was just weird to me because, like I said, I planned the marriage, you know, the children, all this kind of stuff. Everything should have been perfect, right? Because I got exactly what I wanted. I got exactly what I've always prayed for. I should not have any issues. There should be no reasons why I'm unhappy. You know, people from the outside looking in, y'all, and not just comments. I've had people in my real life like, oh my God, your life is so perfect. Oh my God, you're so perfect. And y'all, I've never seen myself that way. And I'm not just saying that to like hype myself up, but I'm probably my worst critic. And like, if somebody says it's perfect, it could be perfect-er to me. You know what I mean? Like, nothing's ever good enough for me. And so, like I said, over the past year, I've been kind of like, you know, I'm really toning down on that. But basically, I planned my life to a T. And last summer, it was last June, I was just like depressed. I was unhappy. And it came to me, it came out of nowhere, but I think it was just like a culmination of things. And it was just, you know, waiting to come at the perfect time. I think God was like, okay, like, girl, enough's enough. You gotta get your mess together, because I planned my life out to a T. Canon was, what, a little over a year? No, last June. No, he wasn't even a year old yet. And so, so I had my 3 kids. I was staying at home. I finished my master's degree, you know, all the stuff that people would say, oh my God, like, that's so awesome. You're so wonderful. And everything's so perfect for you. I had a husband that was working full time. Like, I didn't have to work if I didn't want to work, that kind of thing. So, you know, outside looking in, it was perfect because it's exactly what I envisioned. And y'all, I was miserable. Do you hear me? I was absolutely miserable. I love my children, Lord knows, but I felt like I wasn't being the best mom. I felt like I wasn't super attentive. Of course, like, I love them and I cuddle them and I snuggle them, but being the way I am now compared to last year, I could just tell that there was like a disconnect mentally. Like, I was still there in body, but in mind, I was somewhere totally different. So I just gotten like into this bout of depression, and it was scaring me because I planned my life to a T, and I could honestly say that I've never been depressed. Like, of course, like, you feel sad about things, but that was my first time ever realizing, like, oh my God, I'm depressed. And that was scary to me because everyone around me had told me, oh, everything's so perfect. So in my head, I was like, well, why am I depressed if everybody says my life is so awesome? So but anyway, I hope this isn't coming across as cocky, y'all. This is just, you know, this is my story, you know, take it for what it is. So but I just remember being extremely depressed after I got into everything I've ever wanted. And So I remember just dropping down to my hands and knees, y'all, and I was just like, God help me, like what is wrong with me? And like the next day, like a light bulb went off, you guys, and I realized that like I'm like an introvert, like within myself, but I'm like a narcissist. I call myself like a reformed narcissist. And I don't compare myself to others. I've never been that type. I've always had my own level of perfection. And so I would say, you know, other moms do certain things, other moms not do certain things, y'all. I've never compared myself to, you know, any of my friends' standards. I always had my own standard. And I actually lost a few good friends because they always felt like I was living up to, or they always felt like they had to live up to my standard or my idea of perfection. When y'all, I was living in my own head for like 26 years. Like I'm 27 now, but I was living in my own head for 26 years. So if I said I did something a certain way, a lot of my old friends would interpret that as them needing to do that, y'all. When honestly, y'all, I was paying them dust, okay? Like I was like, if you want to do whatever with your child, do whatever. If you want to do whatever with your life, do whatever. But like I said, I was so into myself and so narcissistic and like so into my own idea of perfection with my own life that I ended up losing a few friends, and a few that probably would still remain friends, and a few that I'm honestly glad I did let go of, because once I did start this transformation, they didn't believe that I was transforming, that kind of thing. So I was like, deuces, whatever. But anyway, so like I said, I dropped to my hands and knees last year, and I just realized that I was depressed. And I was like, I was in the spare bedroom, my kids were playing, they were like eating and playing, and everything was just wonderful. My house was clean, and I was like, what is wrong with me? And so I was just like, God help me, like what is wrong with me? And like I said, the next day the light bulb went off, and it was just like God was saying, you're selfish, you're narcissistic, you're this, you're that. And I was like, oh my God, like it was like me seeing myself for the first time, you guys. So yeah, and this is like not a shocker to a lot of people, but a lot of people see me from the outside looking in. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm about to sneeze. Okay, sorry y'all, as y'all know, I'm still getting over a cold, but and that's Canon there playing. So if you hear him, he's in there with John. But anyway, so and there's Kylan too. So hopefully I can get through this, y'all. But and like I think I was saying, it was like God, like, you know, opened, like I was seeing myself for the first time in 26 years, and I realized I was just narcissistic and, you know, just a lot of different things that you know, that I didn't see in myself. And like I said, a lot of people would just say, you know, oh, your life is so perfect, y'all. And to me, it was not. And it's because I had this unrealistic idea of perfection, these unrealistic expectations for myself. You know, I pushed myself to do so many things, and I had this checklist, y'all. And I remember telling my friend Jordan last year, and that's when I realized, like, okay, something's really wrong with me, because like when I had a checklist of everything I ever wanted to do in life, and I've completed my checklist by the time I was 25 years old, you guys. And that's scary. Like a lot of people see that as an accomplishment, but that's scary because I got to, I'm not gonna cry about it, y'all, but I honestly got to the point like at 25 years old where I was like, you know, I've done everything I want to do in life. I could die now. And y'all, that is a scary thing to say. That's a scary thing to think. That's a scary way to feel, you know. And not that I was like suicidal or anything. I hadn't gotten there. But it's scary to complete your bucket list, so to speak, at like 25, you guys. It's very scary. And that made me realize I just need to slow down, take it easy, and that I was really pushing myself, you guys, because like I said, y'all, to just be 25 years old and feel like there's nothing to look forward to besides being a grandma, you know. Like, that was what I felt like my life was about, you know. My life was my children. My life was just them, you know. And it was like, okay, well, I've gotten all these degrees and I got my husband, my wonderful children. Okay, now it's time to be a grandma in like 20 years. Y'all, that is a bad way to be. So that's why I was depressed last year, you guys. I felt like I had nothing to look forward to. Of course, I look forward to my children growing and that kind of thing, but hold on, y'all, just a second. There's Kylan, hold on. I completed my bucket list at 25 because I put so much pressure on myself to be perfect and to live up to my own idea of perfection, and I push a lot of people away that way. You know, if they weren't on board with my mindset, then whatever, you know, that kind of thing. And so my self-reflection journey has been more of a just like retraining my brain, kind of, you know, like I always say, like I say recently, that I'm like a reformed narcissist, you guys, and that's really hard to admit. And it's really hard to try to change, because there are days where I wake up and my house has got to be perfect. Like I'm a reformed narcissist, but I'm trying to be a reformed perfectionist. Like there's so many things that I'm really trying to like retrain my brain to do, you know. Like it would be a time where I would, you know, my house had to be perfect, like clean enough to eat off the floor, or my whole day was ruined, you know. And so it got harder and harder. The more children I had, I realized I was going crazy, because you know, I remember Kylan being like 2 days old and me being on my hands and knees just scrubbing, you know, like me feeling like nothing was ever perfect enough, that nothing was ever good enough. And so this past year has just been me, I'm sorry y'all, like I said, I'm still stopped up, but this year has been me just like counting my blessings, y'all, and just like seeing the children that I have, seeing my wonderful husband, and realizing like, oh my God, they're so much more than enough, you know, like God has blessed me with them, and I have the nerve to ask for more. You know, of course, I'll take some blessings, okay? I'll take more blessings, but like I've been blessed with so much more than I feel I deserve, and I had this blessing that nothing was ever good enough, you know? So this has been my year to just like calm down, relax, and say, oh my God, I have 3 healthy, wonderful children. I never had any pregnancy complications. I have a husband that breaks his back daily to make sure that I never have to work a day in my life if I don't want to, and that supports me, you know, that supported me when I decided to get a part-time job, you know, like no matter what I say, it's okay with him, you know, not that he's like a yes man, but it's one of those things where if it's, you know, if it's something that he knows I truly desire, y'all, he backs me 100%, and it's like God gave him to me so that I don't have to be perfect, you know? It's like I feel like both of us together are like the perfect person. And I'm sorry, y'all. But it's like I never realized that until a year ago, and I've been with him for almost 11 years, and to realize like, oh my God, like he is everything to me, like he is half of me, you know? And like it's, you know, I have like, I don't want to say I have daddy issues, but I grew up without a father, so it was also really hard for me to even let John in to begin with, because I was really guarded even at 16, and I was like, oh, no dude's gonna do me dirty, you know, that kind of thing. So it's taken me years to like 100% open up to my husband and be like, oh my God, you're my husband, and we're in this together, and you know, what you say goes, what I say goes, like we're together, you know, that kind of thing. So because I grew up with a single mom that, you know, basically was like, girl, you could be married, but have your little change on the side just in case he wants to act up, you know, that kind of thing. So I was always very, you know, I'm sorry, there's the kids. So I was always very skeptical or like worried or fearful of things not going the way I feel like they should. My perfect, you know, my idea of perfection. I was kind of like, well, John wants to act up and I got some money waiting in the wings. You know, I was like, not that I had a lot saved up, y'all, but you know what I mean? Like I was always so fearful of things going wrong and like not my idea of perfection, y'all, that I feel like I didn't 100% let my husband in until this past year. Like I just let my guard down 100%, and I feel like we're just like, we never had like, I don't want to say we had like issues, but like he can even tell this past year, he's like, wow, you really opened up, and like this is the you that I married, like this is the you that I love seeing. So that's really encouraging, that's really awesome. And he tells me daily how proud he is of me, and he can see like my transformation, and that's just really encouraging to know that all of the hard work that I've been putting in, because I'm going to toot my own horn, y'all, it has been a complete 180 mentally for me. And it's nice that he has acknowledged it, it's nice that he sees it. There's kind of no shell shock, but it's so nice that my husband has seen it and that he's like, Irma, you're doing a wonderful job. And I feel like that's the part of me that he's that part of me that I need. He's that morale boost. He's that person to say, you're doing a wonderful job. So I don't know where this is going, y'all, but if you've watched the journey, I have dealt with anxiety, and my anxiety turned into depression. And it was mainly because like the starting point was my idea of perfect, like when things didn't go my way, or even like I said, I had a bucket list I completed and it still wasn't good enough for me, and I was like anxious because I was like, oh God, I don't know what's happening next. I love to know the next step in life, or I used to love to know the next step in life, and so that would make me anxious. And then I became depressed because I completed my bucket list at 25. And then I became depressed because even what I had, I felt like wasn't good enough. I felt like I should be doing more. Like I was saying on Periscope yesterday, that if I'm not overwhelmed with life, if I don't have stuff constantly going on, then I feel like I'm not living. And I really need to get out of that mindset. I need to just sit back, relax, and just enjoy life. Like enjoy my children, enjoy Kay being in kindergarten, Carson being 3, Kylan being 1, and not look forward to the next phase in life. You know, like just embrace the moment, embrace where I am. And since I've been doing that, that has definitely helped a lot with my anxiety. I feel like I'm a naturally anxious person, and I'm really trying to pray that away. I feel like that's the only way I'm gonna really get through it. But I'm a naturally anxious person, but I think a lot of the anxiety also has to do with the fact that I'm always looking 10 steps ahead instead of like looking at where I am right now. I'm always 10, you know, like I said, I'm always 10 years ahead in my own head, you know, and that's a bad way to live, because I've been doing that for years, you guys. And I can honestly say that this past year is the only year that I ever remember really being a mom, because Kane's first year flew by, and I think that's why I always get like the most nostalgic around birthdays and all that kind of stuff, because I'm so go, so oh my God, everything has to be wonderful and perfect, that I have to watch the birthday videos to kind of remember what happened. You know, it's like I don't remember. I can honestly say out of almost 6 years, I mainly remember the last year of my life, which is crazy, y'all, because I've had children and I've been in college, but everything was just, I was in my own world. And this is my first time actually like sitting down and realizing like where I am and enjoying it. And y'all, I look back at old videos of children, I don't ever remember recording them. I don't remember the children looking the way they looked. I don't remember them being small, because I was so overwhelmed and in my own mind that I just missed out on life. I missed out on Kane's first 5 years of life. I missed out on Carson's first 2 years of life, Kylan's first year, because I was just so in my own head, you guys. So, and nothing else, y'all. I don't know where this video is going. I have no idea what I'm even talking about. I just hope this is encouragement for you guys to just like take a step back, realize that wherever you are in life, it's like where you're supposed to be, and it's okay to be where you are. It's okay if you haven't finished your degree. It's okay if you haven't gotten married yet. It's okay if you, it's okay, like no matter what, it's okay. And so I feel like I needed more people to tell me that when I was like 21 and had my first child, or you know, I had my kids at 21, 23, 25. I wish I had someone to tell me like, you know, it's okay to be where you are and don't rush your life away, because you're rushing it away. You want to see what's happening in the next 5 years, but you're missing out on the first 5 years of your child's life. You're missing out on everything. Even though I had the camera in my kid's face constantly, I don't remember it, because like I feel like I was living through a camera kind of. And that's why I took a major break from YouTube last year, you guys, because I was just in a bad place mentally. You know, I was kind of I still have a ton of videos recorded of the kids, you guys, that I would probably never put up. It's still, you know, it's home video, but I was still just living through a camera and just going through the motions kind of. And that's when I realized that things need to change. That's when I realized that I was going crazy and I was getting depressed, and I just thank God that I was able to see that in myself, you know. And then I also felt like too, I felt like I had nobody to talk to, because I'm the social worker, the counselor, that kind of thing. And a lot of my friends could tell you that like whenever there's anything, the first thing they do is call Emerald and, you know, not get advice. But I also learned this past year too to give myself credit for things. I never do that. So I am a great listener. I'm a great friend. And so when friends would call me, the first thing they would do is tell me their issues. And by the time it got around to me, mine didn't seem as important. You know, it seemed like, oh my God, like John's working and I'm at home with 3 kids, and I got the nerve to be complaining because they're saying, you know, XYZ that sounds way worse than what I'm going through. So I learned to be that counselor, and I learned to bottle a lot of things in, and that was like seriously killing me inside, you guys, because I always felt like no matter what, everybody thinks my life is perfect, and I can't tell that I'm struggling. I can't tell, you know, even the things that seem minute to me. You know, it would just ease my mind if I had somebody to talk to. And so I had, you know, a friend tell me, or a friend basically allude to the fact that, you know, I think I'm perfect, and you know, it's just like I said, y'all, and I was like, it was just so far from the truth, you guys, because it came across that way, because she never asked me how I was doing. You know, she never said, Emerald, how's your day, or you know, what's going on, because I probably would have broken down and said, oh God, I don't want to do this today. But since she never gave me a chance, I don't want to vent about this, y'all, but since she never asked me how I was doing, so she always assumed that my life was perfect. She never asked me, how are you doing today? How are you feeling? Because it was always her issue. And by the time we dealt with that, we were both so mentally exhausted that mine didn't seem important enough. So I definitely realized, you know, since letting go of certain friends, and since just finding myself, and I'm not blaming certain people for anything, you know, but I'm just saying, since surrounding myself with positivity and just being super positive, I realized that I am important, and you know, my values are, you know, everything is valid. You know, like I shouldn't feel like if I'm frustrated with the day, that since I'm a stay-at-home mom, my husband works, and I've got 2 degrees, like what am I complaining about? You know, like there are days where I just need to complain. There are days I just need somebody to talk to, and that's usually all you need, because even the most perfect person has, you know, even the person that you think is the most perfect, like they have their days where they're like, oh my God, Lord help me, like somebody talk to me. And you would never see that, because they could be down on the inside, and since you feel that your issue is a little worse than theirs, then you never ask them about their day, you guys. And so just be a good friend to people also. Just you know, just get out of that bubble of me, I need, I want, and just say, how was your day, how are you feeling, you know? So I've learned to do that, and that's really helped a lot. I've learned to surround myself with people that do that. I can honestly say I don't have one friend that texts me and says, oh girl, let me tell you this drama. It's always like, hey Emma, how are you, what's going on? And there's a toy down the hallway, and that's really nice, and that's helped me realize that through this journey, I'm attracting positive people. I'm attracting people that want to be around me. I'm attracting like-minded people, and that will just keep my morale up and keep me just really happy and positive, y'all. So the mind is just, it's amazing, you guys, because my mindset last year, when a lot of you guys thought I was so perfect and had it all together, you guys, I feel like now that I'm a lot more transparent, I think that I'm just 100% more sane now. I was not in a good place last year, and nobody could tell because no one ever asked me, and people always just assumed that I was perfect. And I can partly say that that's because I had an idea of perfection that people latched onto. People, you know, people saw me striving for my idea of perfection, and a lot of my old friends felt intimidated by that, which they didn't have a reason to, because I wasn't, I mean, I could see why, but you know, I was always, they didn't realize I was in my narcissistic bubble. And so, so yeah, so like I said, I've had a few friends that have seen my progress, and that have, you know, I feel like my alarm's going off when the kids have my key, but I've had a couple friends that have just said, oh my God, Emerald is so awesome, like your transformation is wonderful, and they've done the same themselves. And I have a few friends that I've had to let go of, you guys, because I could see myself making progress. Not that I needed their affirmation or confirmation, but it was like, oh Lord, here she goes again, or oh Lord, you know, something else with Emerald. And so I had to just let that negativity go, you guys. And once I did that, then I started seeing even more blessings coming my way, and just more positivity and encouragement. And I just, like, if you're dealing with depression, anxiety, y'all, first of all, step off your soapbox and just say, you know what, like, God, I'm here, like, what do you want from me? like I'm here, you know, let your will be done. Like, I cannot plan my life, and I know it's hard to do, and it's really hard for me, but just, you have to 100% get to the point where you realize you cannot control your destiny, and you have to just let go of those reins and allow God to do what he's going to do with your life. And once I did that, y'all, I can honestly say that my 26th and 27th year have been the best years of my life. And that's saying a lot, because I've been a mom since I was 21. So to say that even now I feel like I'm the best mom I've ever been, I'm the best wife I've ever been, that's a lot for me. Because, you know, back in the day I was striving for this perfection, when all I really had to do was just sit down and allow God to do what he wanted to do with me, you guys. So if you're dealing with anxiety and depression, y'all know that you're not alone. Know that even Emerald Rice, the person that on YouTube would come across as so perfect because she never wanted to vent her frustrations or her anger or her life on YouTube, know that she was dealing with some junk, okay? So nobody's perfect, you guys, nobody. Yes, bud love. Hold on, y'all. Sorry guys, in conclusion, I don't know where I'm even going with this, y'all. I don't know what I'm gonna title it, but if you're dealing, hey guys, if you're dealing with anxiety, depression, all that, you guys know you're not alone, and know that the first step is like admit it to yourself, and then just talking to someone about it, you guys, because hey, off the shower, because it's really easy to just become narcissistic in your thinking and feel like you're the only person going through a certain thing, and feel like you got to get out of it yourself, you guys. And the first thing was me. The way I admitted it to myself was just coming to God and saying, God, help me. And everything was just revealed to me. And little by little, I came out of my depression. I came out of that funk. My anxiety has gotten a lot better, you guys. 2 years ago or a year ago, I would have never sang for you guys on camera. And I still get super nervous. You can hear the shaking in my voice. But I just know that, you know, I'm getting better, you guys. Like little things like that. You just set certain milestones for yourself. And just know that, you know, you'll overcome them. And I don't know, you guys, like I said, that's just my message. I don't know. So just know that if you're dealing with anxiety, depression, all that kind of stuff, y'all, know that you can definitely talk to me. I'll be a listening ear. I'll be a shoulder to lean on, you guys. So, yeah, so if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know, you guys. And this has been like, I guess this is just my self-reflection journey. When people say, you know, why did you remove your tattoos? Why did you, you know, start this journey in the first place? I started it because I had to, you guys. Like, I had no choice but to get my life together, or I don't feel like I'd be the person that I am right now. I don't feel like I'd be the same Emerald Rice that you see right now if I didn't 1 year ago decide, God, like, help me. So thank you, Lovey. I think I did it because it was kind of like a now or never type thing. It was like I either get my life together or I don't know what I'm doing with my life, and that's the scary thing. So so yeah, like I said, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know. And yeah, so all right, y'all, I will see y'all in the next video, whatever that will be. All right, bye, y'all.